13 beloved actors from Happy Days left this world in ways that still haunt Hollywood. Behind the laughter, the jukebox tunes, and the family warmth, their real-life endings carried heartbreak and shock. Stay with us, because some of these stories are darker and more surprising than you could ever imagine. Number 1. Robin Williams. On August 11, 2014, the world was shaken when Robin Williams was found dead in his California home. The news spread instantly across the globe, leaving fans stunned and devastated. Reports confirmed that the beloved actor had taken his own life at the age of 63, after years of struggling with depression and an undiagnosed case of Lewy body dementia. The suddenness of his passing was felt like a thunderclap in Hollywood, a tragic reminder that even the brightest stars can be consumed by inner darkness. Robin Williams was born in Chicago in 1951 and quickly rose to fame after his breakthrough role as the eccentric alien Mork on the television series Happy Days. His guest appearance was so wildly popular that it spun off into the series Mork and Mindy, which made him a household name. Known for his improvisational genius and boundless energy, Williams transitioned effortlessly to film, starring in classics such as Good Morning Vietnam, Dead Poets Society, Mrs. Doubtfire, Jumanji, and Good Will Hunting, for which he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Despite the constant laughter he brought to millions, Williams wrestled privately with addiction and mental health challenges. He openly sought treatment several times throughout his career, determined to keep performing and to inspire audiences. Friends and colleagues described him as deeply compassionate, always quick to help others, and endlessly generous with his time. Yet the struggle beneath the surface continued, culminating in his heartbreaking final act. The reaction to his death was immediate and profound. Vigils sprang up outside theaters, tributes poured in from fellow actors, comedians, and political leaders, and countless fans expressed their grief on public forums. Former President Barack Obama described him as an extraordinary actor who arrived in our lives as an alien but ended up touching every element of the human spirit. His passing ignited conversations about mental health awareness, reminding people that the pain behind a smile can be invisible. Today, Robin Williams is remembered not only for his unmatched comedic brilliance, but also for his humanity. His legacy endures in every performance, in every heartfelt speech, and in the countless people he inspired to embrace creativity, kindness, and empathy. Number 2. Pat Morita. On November 24, 2005, the entertainment world mourned when Pat Morita died of kidney failure at the age of 73. He passed away in Las Vegas, leaving behind a legacy that had touched audiences across generations. The news of his death was met with sorrow, for Morita had become a cultural icon through his unforgettable performances in both television and film. Pat Morita was born in 1932 in Ileton, California, to Japanese immigrant parents. His early life was marked by hardship, including years spent in an internment camp during World War II, and a lengthy battle with spinal tuberculosis that kept him in a body cast for nearly a decade. Yet from those struggles emerged a man with resilience and a gift for making people laugh. He began his career in stand-up comedy, quickly developing a style that blended sharp wit with an affable charm. Audiences first came to know him as Arnold Takahashi, the wisecracking diner owner in Happy Days. His character brought warmth and humor to the show, making him a fan favorite. He later achieved worldwide fame as Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid films, a role that earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. With his calm presence and memorable lessons, he became a mentor figure not only to the character of Daniel LaRusso, but also to millions of viewers who found inspiration in his words. Behind the scenes, Morita faced personal struggles, including battles with alcoholism, but he remained dedicated to his craft. Friends described him as generous, always willing to encourage younger performers and share stories from his own difficult past. His ability to blend comedy with wisdom made him unique, and his performances carried an emotional depth that few could replicate. When news of his passing spread, tributes poured in from across the industry. Ralph Macchio, his co-star in The Karate Kid, called him a friend and a mentor, while fans around the world remembered him for the simple yet powerful phrase, "Wax on, wax off." His death left a void in Hollywood, but his influence endures in the countless lives he touched through his work. Pat Morita remains a symbol of resilience and inspiration, proof that even from the harshest beginnings, greatness can emerge. To keep hearing stories of legends like him, make sure you subscribe so you will not miss what comes next. Number 3. Tom Bosley. On October 19, 2010, Tom Bosley died of heart failure at a hospital near his Palm Springs home. He was 83 years old and had been battling lung cancer, though it was heart complications that ultimately ended his life. The announcement brought sadness to millions who had grown up watching him as the lovable father on Happy Days, a role that made him one of television's most familiar paternal figures. Tom Bosley was born in Chicago in 1927. His career began on the stage, and he won a Tony Award in 1960 for his performance in the Broadway musical Fiorello, where he played New York Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia. That victory marked him as a talented and versatile actor, but it was television that carried his name into homes across America. In 1974, Bosley was cast as Howard Cunningham, the steady and affectionate father of Richie and Joni on Happy Days. His performance embodied warmth, patience, and humor, qualities that resonated with audiences during a decade of change. Week after week, he guided his television family with gentle wisdom, and viewers saw in him the kind of father figure they longed for in real life. His character became so iconic that Howard Cunningham remains one of the most remembered TV dads of all time. Outside of Happy Days, Bosley continued to act in both television and film. He starred in the mystery series Father Dowling Mysteries and appeared in numerous movies and guest roles. His voice was also recognizable, narrating animated specials such as Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. Known among colleagues as humble and approachable, he worked steadily in Hollywood for more than 50 years. The news of his death brought heartfelt tributes from his co-stars and fans. Henry Winkler, who played Fonzie, remembered him as a man with a heart as big as the world. Ron Howard, who played Richie, recalled Bosley as a teacher and a warm friend, someone who embodied kindness both on and off the screen. Fans left flowers and notes at his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, showing the depth of affection he inspired. Tom Bosley's passing marked the end of an era for many viewers who grew up with him as America's dad. His performances continue to live on, a reminder of the comfort and stability he brought to television screens for decades. Number 4. Erin Moran. On April 22, 2017, Erin Moran was found dead at her home in Indiana. She was only 56 years old, and the cause was later confirmed as complications from stage 4 throat cancer. The sudden end of her life was heartbreaking for fans who remembered her as the spirited Joni Cunningham from Happy Days, a character who had grown up before their eyes on television. Erin Moran was born in 1960 in Burbank, California. She began acting at a young age, appearing in commercials and television shows before landing her breakthrough role in 1974. As Joni, the younger sister of Richie Cunningham, she became a central figure on Happy Days. Viewers loved watching her transformation from a mischievous child into a confident young woman, and her chemistry with Scott Baio as Chachi Arcola eventually led to the spin-off series Joni Loves Chachi. While she enjoyed early success, Moran's life after Happy Days proved difficult. The spin-off series lasted only a short time, and she struggled to find stable roles in Hollywood. Financial troubles and personal hardships followed, and reports of her declining health appeared in the years leading up to her death. Despite the challenges, those who knew her spoke of her warmth and sense of humor, qualities that had made her so appealing on screen. When the news of her death became public, tributes poured in from her former co-stars and fans around the world. Henry Winkler expressed his sorrow, remembering her as a wonderful and talented person. Ron Howard shared memories of working with her since she was a child, praising her natural ability and charm. For many fans, her passing marked the loss of not just a beloved actress, but also a piece of their own youth, tied to the era of Happy Days and its enduring optimism. The legacy of Erin Moran lives on through her memorable portrayal of Joni Cunningham. Her character embodied innocence, growth, and resilience, qualities that resonated deeply with audiences. Though her career was marked by both highs and lows, her place in television history remains secure. She is remembered with affection, her laughter and youthful energy forever captured in the timeless episodes that continue to be watched by new generations. Number 5. Al Molinaro. On October 30, 2015, Al Molinaro died in a California hospital at the age of 96. His passing was due to complications from a gallstone infection, and though he had lived a long life, the news still saddened those who remembered his gentle presence on television. His face and voice had been part of American households for decades, especially through his role on Happy Days, where he became one of the most endearing supporting characters. Al Molinaro was born in 1919 in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He worked in a variety of jobs before turning to acting later in life, an unusual path that gave him a relatable quality on screen. He first gained attention as Murray the Cop on The Odd Couple, a role that showcased his talent for understated comedy. His big break came in 1976 when he was cast as Al Del Vecchio, the lovable owner of Arnold's Drive-In on Happy Days. Molinaro's portrayal of Al was marked by warmth, patience, and humor. His famous catchphrase, "Yep, yep, yep," became instantly recognizable to fans. Though he was never the flashiest character on the show, his steady presence made him a favorite among viewers. He also appeared in the spin-off Joni Loves Chachi, further cementing his place in the Happy Days universe. Outside of acting, Molinaro was known for his kindness and humility. He often spoke of his gratitude for the opportunities Hollywood had given him, especially since he had not pursued acting until his 30s. Unlike many in the industry, he chose to retire early, preferring to enjoy a quieter life away from the spotlight. Friends and colleagues remembered him as a man with no ego, someone who was content simply to make people smile. When news of his death was announced, tributes came from fans and former co-stars who remembered him not just as a performer, but as a genuinely good man. Henry Winkler praised him as a pure soul whose humor touched countless lives, while others recalled his generosity and gentle spirit. Al Molinaro's passing marked the loss of one of television's most comforting figures. His work on Happy Days remains a lasting reminder of his ability to bring lightness and joy to audiences, and his legacy continues through the countless reruns that keep his memory alive. Number 6. Penny Marshall. On December 17, 2018, Penny Marshall died at her home in Los Angeles at the age of 75. The cause was complications from diabetes, and the news immediately drew tributes from across the entertainment world. Her passing was a profound loss, for she was not only a talented actress, but also a groundbreaking director whose work reshaped Hollywood. Penny Marshall was born in the Bronx in 1943. She first gained recognition through television, appearing in commercials before landing guest spots on popular shows. Her breakout came when she appeared on Happy Days as Laverne DeFazio, a character so memorable that it led to the beloved spin-off series Laverne and Shirley. Alongside Cindy Williams, Marshall created one of the most iconic female duos in television history, capturing the struggles and triumphs of working-class women in a way that audiences immediately embraced. After her television success, Marshall turned her focus to directing, a move that would make her a pioneer in a male-dominated field. She directed Big in 1988, starring Tom Hanks, which became the first film directed by a woman to gross more than $100 million at the box office. She went on to direct critically acclaimed films such as Awakenings, which earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture, and A League of Their Own, a movie that celebrated the women of professional baseball during World War II. Marshall's directing style combined humor with heart, a reflection of her own personality. She was known for creating environments where actors felt comfortable and inspired, allowing performances to shine naturally. Colleagues often recalled her sharp wit, her Bronx accent, and her down-to-earth charm that never left her despite her fame. When she passed, tributes highlighted both her talent and her trailblazing spirit. Stars like Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, and Rosie O'Donnell credited her with giving them some of the most meaningful roles of their careers. Directors praised her for opening doors for women in film, and fans remembered her as someone who could make them laugh while also moving them deeply. Penny Marshall's death closed the chapter on a remarkable career that spanned acting, producing, and directing. Her influence is still felt in Hollywood today, and her legacy endures in the laughter, inspiration, and stories she left behind. Number 7. Cindy Williams. On January 25, 2023, Cindy Williams died in Los Angeles at the age of 75 after a brief illness. The announcement of her passing was made by her family, and it immediately sparked an outpouring of tributes from fans who had cherished her work for decades. Her death marked the end of a career that had left an indelible mark on both television and film. Cindy Williams was born in 1947 in Van Nuys, California. She studied theater at Los Angeles City College before beginning her career with small roles in television and commercials. Her talent quickly earned her opportunities in film, and she appeared in notable productions such as George Lucas's American Graffiti and Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation. Both films became classics of the 1970s, and showcased her ability to embody complex characters with authenticity. Her true breakthrough came on Happy Days, where she appeared as Shirley Feeney alongside Penny Marshall's Laverne DeFazio. The chemistry between the two actresses was so undeniable that they were given their own series, Laverne and Shirley, which premiered in 1976. The show became one of the most popular sitcoms of its era, capturing the humor and struggles of two single women navigating life and work in Milwaukee. Williams's portrayal of Shirley, the more idealistic and soft-spoken counterpart to Marshall's brash Laverne, won the hearts of millions. Though she eventually left the series before its final season, Williams remained a familiar presence in film and television. She appeared in stage productions, television movies, and guest roles, always bringing the same dedication that had defined her earlier work. Off-screen, she was known as a private and caring person who valued her family and kept a grounded perspective despite her fame. The news of her death brought tributes from across Hollywood. Colleagues and fans alike remembered her warmth, her humor, and the impact she had on American culture during the height of her career. For many, her performances symbolized an era of optimism and laughter that still resonates today. Cindy Williams is remembered as both a gifted actress and a cultural icon of the 1970s and 80s. Her legacy continues in the timeless episodes of Laverne and Shirley, and in the classic films that helped define a generation of American cinema. Number 8. Gary Marshall. On July 19, 2016, Gary Marshall died in Burbank, California at the age of 81 from complications of pneumonia after suffering a stroke. The announcement of his death was met with widespread sadness, for Marshall had been one of the most influential figures in American television and film. His passing marked the loss of a creative mind whose work had defined family entertainment for decades. Gary Marshall was born in 1934 in the Bronx, New York. He began his career as a joke writer for comedians and television shows, eventually breaking into Hollywood as a writer for The Tonight Show and The Dick Van Dyke Show. His sharp sense of humor and instinct for character development led him to create and produce a series of iconic sitcoms. Among them were The Odd Couple, Laverne and Shirley, Mork and Mindy, and most famously Happy Days, the show that became a cultural landmark of the 1970s and 80s. Though he occasionally made cameo appearances in his own productions, Marshall's true genius was behind the camera. He had a gift for capturing stories that balanced humor with heart, creating characters who felt real to audiences. Happy Days in particular reflected his ability to tap into nostalgia for the 1950s, while giving viewers comfort and laughter during changing times. Marshall did not limit himself to television. He became a successful film director, bringing to life beloved movies such as Pretty Woman, Beaches, and Runaway Bride. These films became both critical and commercial successes, cementing his reputation as a master storyteller who could connect with viewers of all ages. Actors who worked with him often spoke of his warmth, patience, and encouragement, describing him as a mentor who believed in collaboration and kindness. The reaction to his death was a testament to his influence. Henry Winkler called him a father figure, while Julia Roberts remembered him as someone who gave her one of the greatest opportunities of her life. Directors and writers credited him with shaping modern television comedy and opening doors for countless performers. Gary Marshall's passing left Hollywood without one of its most cherished creative forces. His legacy lives on through the enduring laughter of his sitcoms and the heartfelt stories of his films, all of which continue to bring joy to audiences around the world. Number 9. Beatrice Colin. On November 18, 1999, Beatrice Colin died in Los Angeles at the age of 51 after a battle with lung cancer. Her death came far too soon, cutting short the life of a woman who had brought warmth and humor to television audiences during the 1970s and 80s. News of her passing struck her colleagues and fans with sadness, as she had been a familiar presence in some of the most beloved shows of the era. Beatrice Colin was born in 1948 in New York City. She began her career in acting during the early 1970s and quickly found herself cast in memorable television roles. In Happy Days, she appeared as Marcia the Carhop during the first 2 seasons. With her roller skates and quick wit, she became part of the show's nostalgic depiction of the 1950s. Though her time on the series was relatively short, her performance left a lasting impression on audiences who remembered her as part of the original ensemble. Colin's career extended beyond Happy Days. She gained further recognition as Etta Candy, the lively and loyal friend of Wonder Woman in the hit series starring Linda Carter. She also made numerous guest appearances on shows such as Kolchak the Night Stalker, The Love Boat, and Fantasy Island. Her versatility allowed her to shift between comedy and drama, and her presence on screen always carried a natural ease. Away from her work in front of the camera, Colin was known among friends and colleagues for her kindness and dedication to her family. She was married to actor Patrick Cronin, with whom she had 2 children. Those who knew her personally spoke of her humor, her warmth, and her ability to light up a room with her presence. When news of her death became public, tributes reflected both admiration for her work and sorrow for her loss. Fans of Happy Days remembered her fondly as part of the show's early charm, while comic book enthusiasts and television historians pointed to her portrayal of Etta Candy as a definitive version of the character. Beatrice Colin's passing at such a young age deprived Hollywood of a talented actress who had much more to give. Her legacy continues through the shows that preserve her performances, ensuring that new generations can still experience the joy she brought to the screen. Number 10. Ed Peck. On September 12, 1992, Ed Peck died in Los Angeles at the age of 75. The cause was a heart attack, ending the life of a seasoned character actor who had become a familiar face on both the big and small screens. His death closed the career of a performer who had brought authority, humor, and presence to every role he played. Ed Peck was born in 1917 in New York City. After serving in the military during World War II, he pursued acting and began building a career in the 1950s. He specialized in playing policemen, military officers, and figures of authority, roles that suited his commanding voice and serious demeanor. Over the years, he became one of those actors audiences instantly recognized, even if they did not always know his name. In Happy Days, he portrayed Officer Kirk, the no-nonsense cop who often clashed with the fun-loving teenagers of Milwaukee. His stern attitude and frequent attempts to enforce order created memorable comedic tension with characters like Fonzie and Richie. Though never a lead character, his appearances added depth to the show and gave audiences a foil to the carefree energy of the main cast. Fans still remember his role as a perfect example of how a skilled supporting actor can elevate a sitcom. Peck's career was not limited to Happy Days. He appeared in numerous television series such as All in the Family, Get Smart, That Girl, and Bewitched. His film credits included roles in Bullet, Heaven Can Wait, and The Prisoner of Second Avenue. With each performance, he delivered reliability and professionalism, becoming a trusted presence in Hollywood productions. Away from acting, Peck was known as a private man who valued his family and friendships. He avoided the spotlight outside of his work and was respected by his peers for his discipline and dedication to the craft. When he passed in 1992, the industry paid tribute to his contributions as one of the dependable character actors of his generation. Fans of Happy Days remembered his stern Officer Kirk with fondness, noting how his presence added a dose of realism to the lighthearted sitcom. Ed Peck's death marked the end of a steady career, but his legacy continues through the countless shows and films in which he appeared, each performance reminding viewers of the strength of character actors in shaping American television history. Number 11. Heather O'Rourke. On February 1, 1988, Heather O'Rourke died suddenly at the age of 12 after suffering cardiac arrest caused by septic shock from a previously undiagnosed intestinal obstruction. She was rushed to a hospital in San Diego, but doctors were unable to save her. The shocking loss of such a young actress stunned Hollywood and audiences around the world, as she had already become a household name through her unforgettable performances. Heather O'Rourke was born in 1975 in San Diego, California. She was discovered by director Steven Spielberg while dining with her mother at a restaurant near the MGM studios. Spielberg cast her in the horror classic Poltergeist in 1982, where her chilling line, "They're here," became one of the most iconic quotes in film history. Her wide-eyed innocence and natural ability to convey fear and wonder made her an instant star. Though she is most often remembered for Poltergeist and its sequels, O'Rourke also made appearances on television. She had guest roles on series such as Webster and Happy Days, where her charm and screen presence shone through even in small parts. Casting directors and audiences alike saw her as one of the most promising young talents of the decade. Her final months were marked by a series of misdiagnosed health issues. She was initially treated for Crohn's disease, but the true condition was an intestinal abnormality that ultimately led to her tragic death. The suddenness of her passing, combined with her young age, led to an outpouring of grief from fans, colleagues, and the entertainment industry as a whole. At her funeral, Spielberg and many others paid tribute to her extraordinary talent, and the brief but powerful mark she left on cinema. Fans around the world mourned the loss of a child actress whose career had only just begun. For many, her death added a haunting layer to the already chilling legacy of the Poltergeist films, which had been associated with several tragedies among its cast. Heather O'Rourke's legacy endures in the films and television shows that captured her remarkable presence. Her brief career remains a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of talent, no matter how young. Her image continues to live on in popular culture, forever remembered as the angelic child who brought both wonder and terror to the screen. Number 12. Jack Dodson. On September 16, 1994, Jack Dodson died in Los Angeles at the age of 63 from heart failure. His passing brought an end to the career of a skilled character actor who had been a familiar presence on American television for more than 3 decades. Though he was not a leading man, his memorable performances left an indelible mark on audiences who valued authenticity and warmth. Jack Dodson was born in 1931 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He studied acting at Carnegie Mellon University and later honed his craft in the theater before moving into television. His big break came in the 1960s when he was cast as Howard Sprague, the mild-mannered county clerk on The Andy Griffith Show. His portrayal of the shy but endearing bureaucrat quickly made him a fan favorite and secured his place in classic television history. Dodson's versatility as an actor allowed him to work steadily across many television shows. He appeared in All's Fair, Barney Miller, Newhart, and countless guest spots that showcased his ability to bring depth to supporting roles. On Happy Days, he appeared in the role of Dr. Malf, Ralph Malph's father, adding a humorous parental presence that complemented the younger cast. His brief appearances resonated with viewers because of his natural comedic timing and everyman demeanor. Beyond television, Dodson also worked in film, including appearances in movies such as Angel in My Pocket and Something Wicked This Way Comes. Directors admired his professionalism and his ability to make even the smallest roles memorable. Off-screen, he was known as a dedicated family man who valued his privacy and avoided the trappings of Hollywood celebrity. When news of his death was reported, fans and colleagues remembered him as one of television's most reliable performers. Co-stars praised his gentle spirit and his ability to elevate any project simply by being part of it. His loss was deeply felt in the entertainment community, where character actors like him formed the backbone of countless productions. Jack Dodson's legacy endures through his work on The Andy Griffith Show, Happy Days, and the many series and films in which he appeared. His performances continue to remind viewers of the power of subtlety and sincerity in acting, qualities that made him unforgettable even in supporting roles. Number 13. Norman Fell. On December 14, 1998, Norman Fell died in Los Angeles at the age of 74 after a long battle with cancer. His passing closed the curtain on a career that had made him one of the most recognizable character actors on American television. Audiences across the nation felt the loss of a man whose work had brought humor and charm to countless households. Norman Fell was born in 1924 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. After serving as a tail gunner in World War II, he studied acting at Temple University and later at the Actors Studio in New York. His early work in theater and film eventually led him to a steady stream of roles in television. He became best known for playing Stanley Roper, the grumpy but comedic landlord on Three's Company, a role that earned him a Golden Globe Award and a dedicated following. Though his fame was tied most closely to Three's Company and its spin-off The Ropers, Fell also made notable appearances in other beloved series. On Happy Days, he appeared in guest roles that highlighted his sharp timing and ability to balance authority with humor. His presence on the show added a layer of comedic tension that fans quickly recognized and appreciated. Fell's career in film included performances in Ocean's 11, The Graduate, and Catch-22. He was respected by directors for his professionalism and admired by co-stars for his ability to steal scenes without overshadowing others. Off-screen, he was known as warm and approachable, often surprising fans with a kind demeanor that contrasted his on-screen gruffness. When his death was announced, tributes poured in from colleagues and admirers. Many praised his consistency and the unique stamp he left on every role. Audiences remembered him fondly as one of those actors who could turn a simple line into a moment of comedy gold. His absence left a void in the world of television character actors, a group often underappreciated yet vital to storytelling. Norman Fell's passing marked the end of a remarkable journey through stage, film, and television. His work continues to be celebrated through reruns and classic films that keep his memory alive. To continue honoring the lives of actors who shaped television history, do not forget to subscribe so you will never miss the next story we share.